But me and Jessica were talking today, and it's crazy how, people come into the business so strong and so passionate. And I guess that's been like my main goal, because we have so many coaches that right from the beginning, I know have so much potential. And then when the struggle kicks in, because it will, they all quit. And I just hate that people are quitting before they're ever getting to really see the true benefit. I've been at this August. I started in July. I started coaching in August. Will be 2 years. And I'm just now starting to feel like, what I'm putting in financially is what I'm getting out. Of course, I've gotten a lot emotionally and personally. I've grown as a person, but financially, I guess it's kind of starting to kick in. Sorry. But I just want you guys, me and Jessica were talking today, like, just promise to be here in a year. And then, okay, I'm going to totally relate this to mom talk for a second. So wasn't a huge fan of breastfeeding. I still am breastfeeding, and I made it way longer than I thought I would, but everyone kept telling me never quit on a bad day. And that's kind of my thought with coaching, like never quit on a day that you feel, run down and overworked, and, just be here in a year. If you're here in a year and then you feel like, okay, it's not working, then by all means bow out. But I just want you guys, there's so many coaches with so much potential, and, we're helping people. That's what we do. We help people, which is so much fun. So I'm so excited at how fast our team is growing, and so many of you are taking off, and that makes me one proud little mama bear.
Awesome. Yeah, I completely agree. And I'm glad you kind of recapped on that, because it kind of flows into what we're talking about today. And like I said in the post, I mean, if you've been here more than a couple of days, you hopefully know by now that duplication in this business is where you will see success. There's some immediate success with retail sales, and that's what I see with brand new coaches. They go really hot and heavy. They get, sometimes 10, 15 Success Club points in their first month. They're on a high, and then that really, really hot market, which I call your family, friends, that dries up really quickly. So then it's like they get really frustrated because it's not this money, right? And then they kind of quit because it doesn't work. And that's not what this is all about. And so I want to start off with there. You don't need 20 Success Clubs every month. Like I said before, if you're a hobby, you need 5. You need to help 3 people every single month. And if you want to turn this into a business, like a legit business, you need to be hitting Success Club 10. So, but this is how tonight we're going to talk about how to present the business opportunity. And guys, let me tell you, first of all, this is not my strong point. And that's why we have grown at a consistent pace, but certainly not at a level that we could have grown. Kelsey is actually way better at presenting the opportunity than I am. So I'm going to probably refer back to her towards the end of the call. So Kelsey, there's a heads up. So how do you present the business opportunity? So I'm going to just kind of walk through this timeline. So just bear with me for a second. Okay. So typically this is a typical process. And I'm just going to show you what I was doing. I was on Facebook one day. I kept seeing one old high school friend from post about challenge groups or something. And I'm like, whatever. You see it enough times, and it's what you need at your point in your life at that time. And I reached out to her. Sometimes you're going to reach out to your customer. So one of the 2 things are going to happen. If you're posting consistently, you're either going to reach out to the person or they're going to reach out to you. You're going to invite them to your challenge group. And so when you invite to the challenge group, you're going to use the 5-step invitation process. If you're new, please get with your coach on the 5-step invitation process, or you're going to run yourself in circles trying to reach Success Club. It is a proven system that works more times than not if you assume the sale. And so I don't even like that word sale, but go into the conversation knowing that you have something that can help them. It's a mindset. So if you're like, oh my God, I know they can't afford this. I know they're going to tell me no. I know they're going to whatever. This is where personal development kicks in. We have a product that is better than anything on the market. We know our challenge groups are jam up, and you know that you can help them. If they tell you no, that just means not right now. But let's assume they say yes, because if you follow the 5-step invitation process, they should say yes to you. So you get them in your challenge group. And so this is a thing that took me a little while to really understand. Our bread and butter in this business is challenge groups. So you need to get really good at challenge groups, because that is where coaches come from. You're going to find a few rock star coaches here and there right out of the gate, but that's an exception, not the rule. Most of your coaches are going to come from your challenge group. So you need to have a jam up challenge group, and you need to be pouring your energy into finding your coaches. And I would say diamonds, but that's just a rank. So you need to be finding your star coaches. And so this is what, I call our challenge group is kind of like the breeding ground or the incubator of the basis of this business. And that's because they're already doing what we do as coaches, right? We're having them check in every day. We're having them post every day. They're working out. They're drinking Shakeology. They're encouraging each other. You're having them post on their Facebook. So that's what the challenge groups, you're there to help people get results. And hopefully, if they get really awesome results, they're going to want to share that with people around them, because they're losing weight. Their friends and family who are not in your circle of friends are going to be asking them what they're doing. So you have to get them results though. So you always have to go back. This has nothing to do with money. Money is a side effect of running awesome challenge groups and helping people get results. So let's say, you see the signs of them being a really good coach. And what I typically like to do is give them a week. So let's say tomorrow's our day one of our challenge groups. I let them get through their first week, right? Because if they're going to get results, usually it's that first week that they're going to get some really awesome results, especially if they haven't been on a journey of their own for a while. So that first week, you're going to check in. How are you doing? You should see their stats. They're on the progress tracker. And that's when you start this 4-step process I was talking about. And so the 4-step process is called FORM. And if you haven't heard of that, it's family, occupation, recreation, and your message. And that's how you're going to talk to them. And it's not this big methodical thing. It's just giving you a basis to know how to talk to people and present what you have to offer to them. So basically you're shooting the breeze with them. And don't overwhelm yourself and don't overthink it. Hey girl, how are your results? Are you liking the challenge group? And you're going to get in that conversation. Start talking about her family. Your kids are so cute. How old are they again? And then you get into occupation. Now, so do you work out of the home? How does that make you feel? That's something I use a lot. Like, I know your days are ragged. How do you feel at the end of the day? I know, how hard is it for you to get your workout in? How is the challenge group going? How's your do you like working from home, out of your home? Is there, and then you start talking about their recreation. Like, what do you guys like to do for fun? So I'm just going to go, and I haven't practiced this by any means, but if I'm talking to a newer mom and she's, going to talk about her kids and she's going to talk about her husband, she's going to talk about how she works outside the home. That's my typical person, and how she's tired. And, at the end of the day, she just doesn't have a lot of energy. She doesn't have a lot of time to take away from her family and go work out. And they would like to do more, but bills are just really tight, and they do what they can, but there's just not a whole lot of time in the day to get out of the house, and there's not a lot of money left in the budget. So we're just talking and we're having a conversation. And I hope if nothing you get from this, Beachbody is about forming relationships with people. It's not about selling challenge packs. You will never be successful in this business if you're trying to just sell something. You need to get to know them. So what I'm doing when I'm talking to these people, I'm trying to find what they need, right? And maybe that's not be a stay-at-home millionaire Beachbody coach, because that is not relatable to a lot of people. But maybe it's how would it help you if you were able to pay your car payment each month just by working a few hours a week and staying in these challenge groups month after month, right? So you're going to find a need or an area of improvement of their life, and you're going to relay the message. It's like, hey girl, I completely understand how you feel. I was in that situation once as well, with a young kid. I was working outside the home, and bills were always tight. And so what I found was I was really, worried about being able to take on something else, but I was already doing what coaches do. And I think you'd be really fantastic at it. Have you ever considered being a coach? That's all you have to say. Have you ever considered being a coach? And they may say, no. What is it? You know what I mean? And then that's when you get into what we do. But so that's the basis of this call. You have to ask though. You have to talk to them enough to figure out what they need and how you can help them. And I know a lot of times our team, we lead with the discount option because we're so scared of them telling us no. And I, again, am just as guilty. This year is kind of a time for change, and it's been resonating in my brain that I have to present this opportunity to other people because it's done so much for my life. Not just a discount. The discount it's just a discount. I would have been buying something if I wasn't buying Shakeology. That's not the point for me. The point is I need to share more about what the income has done for me. And it's not relatable to talk about how you paid off $20,000 of debt last month. You can get there, but maybe you can talk about what the accountability side of being a coach has done for you. Maybe you're a brand new coach and you don't have some crazy income success story, and that's okay. Maybe you talk about, hey, I have been able to stick through my fitness and nutrition over the last 21 days because I'm a coach and because I had other people watching me and I knew I couldn't fail. I mean, that's a great thing. Or maybe you're able to pay for your water bill, or maybe you were able to take your family out to dinner and your husband didn't pay. The little smallest things can make the biggest difference in somebody's life that they may not have, and that you can help them have those things just by simply getting in the best shape of their life and asking other people if they want to do the same thing. So that's what this is all about. But you have to grow a set of, and ask them. You have to ask them. And that's just something I'm like, why have I not been asking people? So rewind a little bit. So they go through their first, weigh in, and they're like, oh my gosh, I totally love this. And I think, I'm so excited you asked me to join you. And you can feel that excitement in a potential coach. And you ask them, have you ever considered, right? And then you're going to go and through a 5-step coaching process, which is also in our Start Here pinned post in our United Spark group. And I also will put the links in the call section when we get off here. But it's just like the 5-step invitation process for a challenge group, except it's for the coaches. Quit trying to come up with your own way of inviting people. Beachbody has spent millions of dollars finding the best way to bring people through the thought process of buying or accepting an invitation. So use the 5-step invitation process. You should be using the tools that Beachbody has to do most of the explaining for you. Don't word vomit all over people. That's going to turn them off. You should be listening to them, and you should be breadcrumbing information. How did that make you feel? Oh, I totally understand how you feel. What would this mean to you? What are your biggest obstacles? What do you like most about the challenge group? Did that video make sense to you? You're just asking a lot of questions and you're getting feedback from them. You're not like, blah, this is how much it costs and this is, where we're at. And no. And this is what it did for me. You're talking about them. Make the conversation about them. So they went through the first results. They love it. You're talking about the coach opportunity. You're asking, have they ever considered? You might even send them a video or two on what coaching is all about. And then you're going to say, hey, we're having a coaching opportunity call. It's just kind of a backstage pass into coaching on Thursday. You don't have to, say anything or talk, but it's just, we're going to have someone talking about what all it takes to be a coach and what we can do to get you started. That's why we have our coach opportunity calls when we do. So, so you're going to invite them to that, and then you're going to follow up with them again. Did the coach opportunity call make sense to you? Do you have any questions? Do you see where maybe you could fit this in? Because you're already in a challenge group. How could this opportunity best fit in your life? And you're just, again, having that conversation, building that relationship. So, but you have to ask them, have you ever considered? And some of them will say, I've had few, like say, yeah, I actually have, but I don't even know what that means or if I'm qualified and I'm not in my goal weight. And if you're in the training group, as we keep going, we'll talk about those. They're called objections, and they're just fear. People are afraid of failing. And so you just come up with ways to answer them. And usually you give them another question back to them. What do you mean by that? Okay, so we'll go through all that. And it's just, this coaching is, I think I've said it before, it's for anybody. Anybody can do this business. It's just not for everybody. You really do have to have a heart to help people. And you have to be willing to have those conversations with them to really figure out what their needs are so you can present the solution. And you have to lead with the purpose of helping people. So I know for me personally, you can get caught up in rank. I'm not emerald yet. I'm not diamond yet. I'm not star diamond yet. Or I'm not making this amount of money. But it should all go back to like why you became a coach in the first place. And it should be about helping people get results. So once you're helping those people get results, then you start asking if they've considered the coaching opportunity so that you can start building your ripple effect in this business. Because again, they can reach people that you can't reach. And it doesn't matter if you're in a small town. It doesn't matter if you have all the same friends. There are millions of people in this world. We're not running out of a market. Okay. So, and that's where you should be adding people every day. You should be adding 3 people to your network every single day. And you should be posting every single day. And you also, this is something I had to learn the hard way. You can't stereotype who you think your coach should be, because I've recently had some coaches join me that I never would have even asked if they want to be a coach, because I figured there's no way they would want to. They talked about how busy they were. But the more I sat and started talking to them, I realized this girl's working 12, 14, 15 hours a day. She misses her daughter. She never gets to see her daughter because she's just working herself to death. She wants to go, she wants more for herself and more for her husband and her daughter. And I didn't realize that until I actually sat and had a conversation with her. And so the coaching opportunity made perfect sense for her, because she's been in my challenge groups for over a year and I've never even asked her if she ever considered it. So it was really, really selfish on my part. I don't know if you guys are jumping on these national wake-up calls, but these people started out exactly the way that we did. And someone had I don't want to say balls. Someone had the whatever to ask them if they wanted to do it. And regardless of what they thought they were going to say, they asked them anyway. And it's changed their entire life. So you have the potential to change somebody's life just by asking them, have you ever considered being a coach? And once they say yes, once you walk through the 5-step coaching invitation process, that's when you get them plugged into a training group. And I am sorry for the people that have been with me. I know I've dropped the ball on training, and I'm sorry. I don't even have anything else to say about that. But every single month from here on out, the day we start a challenge group is the day we're going to start a new coach training group. So you guys have a promise from me as your upline coach that my goal is to get people through a challenge group. So again, we're going to back up. You invite them. They say, yes, I want to be a coach. I want to at least see what it's about. I would like to learn more about it. So yeah, I'd like to go through the training group. That second month, they're not in a challenge group. They're in a coach training group. They're still on their journey. They still have to be drinking Shakeology and working out, but they're learning about the business and they're still connected to coaches in our group. And then the third month, they're going to team back up with you as your apprentice coach. And they're going to start, hopefully have 1 or 2 people from the training group that they have ready to plug into your group with you so they can start learning how to run their own challenge groups. So that's how we're going to be training people from here on out. If you have any questions about how we're doing that, please reach out. Brittany Hines has been really great about doing calendars. She did 2 calendars for us, so we can also tag you in that. So here are the people that you should be reaching out to about the coaching opportunity call. I would say everybody, but there are some things to look for. One is your challengers. You should ask every single one of your challengers if they've ever considered it. They are in your bread and butter of what it takes to be a challenger. And maybe they want to go through a few more challenge groups, and that's okay, but at least ask them. You should be reaching out to people that hate their jobs. If you have a friend that's always talking about how much she hates her job, reach out to her. Be like, hey girl, I don't know if you've seen my post lately about what I do as a coach, and I know it can be a little confusing, but I'm having a ton of fun, and I'm making a little bit of extra spending money, and I'm getting in the best shape of my life. Have you ever considered maybe making some extra money by becoming a coach? And if she hates her job, she's probably going to say no, but tell me more about it. You know what I mean? But you have to ask her. Ask people that are really good at their jobs and they love their jobs. Like, those are the best people to go to. Like, why do you love your job? What's so great about your job? How are you successful at your job? If anything, more of a learning opportunity for you. And there are people every day that love what they do 9 to 5 and are still exceptional coaches because they maybe get a different function out of coaching that they don't at their job. And this is a fun one, but it's true. If you have a friend that is already snapping selfies all day long on Facebook, you might want to ask her, hey, so you're gorgeous, and I see you're not afraid to share your life, and I think you're really inspiring. Have you ever considered being a coach? You never know. But I mean, let's be honest, selfies are kind of the centerpiece of what we do as coaching because you're sharing your life, and that person is already, they're not afraid to do that, right? So they've already got over that hurdle of like, oh my God, I don't want to blast my life on Facebook. Well, they're already doing it. So ask them. And here's the last thing. Come up with, and this is kind of your call to action. I want you to come up with 10 things that describe who you are. Who are you? What do you like doing? What makes you different? And the coolest thing about this business is that you get to decide who you work with. You get to decide who your coworkers are going to be. I don't know about you guys, but I've had some really crappy ones. I've never had to decide who they are. In this business, you get to decide who you get to work with. So find people like you. Find people that like to do the same things as you. Find the people that make you laugh and make you want to come to work every day. That's the cool thing about it. And reach out to those people. You know, there are some people you're just so intimidated. You're like, oh, she would never want to coach, but she would be an awesome coach. Well, reach out to her. And she might say no, or he or whoever, but they might say yes at some point. I've had coaches come back to me 8-9 months later and be like, okay, I'm ready. Awesome, right? So you want that, but you have to ask them. So I hope that kind of, and I wanted to leave a little bit of room for some talking points, and I scribbled down a whole bunch of other things, but just to recap, you got to be here in a year. And the way that you're going to be here in a year and see success in a year, to want to stay longer than that, is you have to hit Success Club every single month. You should be hitting Success Club 5, no negotiation. If you're inviting 3 people a day, there is no way you can tell me you can't find 3 people to sign up with you. I won't believe it for a second. And I say that with every bone in my body. If you're inviting, you're sharing, and you're being proof, and you're investing in personal development, there is no way you cannot hit Success Club 5. So if you're here, you're hitting Success Club, and you're rocking your challenge groups, and you're taking the time to talk, to form them, find out about their family, occupation, recreation, and then sending your message, you're going to be so successful in this business. And like I've told my sister, I mean, we've talked about it several times, I would love nothing more for me to share everything I've done wrong in this business and see somebody just blow right by me. Like, that would make me so happy. Unfortunately, we didn't have that as we started. So we're just building as fast as we can without losing the integrity of our team. So I don't want to take on more than I can't handle. That's probably why I haven't. And then a lot of it was fear of overwhelming myself and fear that I'd be letting people down because I was taking on too much at one time. So we are going to be training every single month. we are going to be running, we've always ran challenge groups the first Monday of every single month. We're going to be running training groups the first Monday of every single month. We're going to be doing opportunity calls the Thursday right after the first weigh-in, because that's when the enthusiasm should be the strongest. So that's what you can expect from us. I hope you learned something in this call. If nothing else, you have to ask. You have to say, have you ever considered? And take some time to dig through the back office. And there are so many YouTube videos, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, that teach you how to present the business opportunity. And that is truly where you're going to see duplication. Jody, I think she did it in United Spark, where, you know, her Success Club points were half as they were last year, but her income was more or doubled. I don't remember. And I think Kelsey said it was the same thing. So, and I can tell you with 100% certainty that that's where you want to get to, because that's when you start seeing replication and duplication. If you haven't read The Compound Effect, that is exactly what he's talking about. It's about, you can't reach the masses, but if you can reach one, that can help you reach one, that can help you reach one, and you're helping so many people get on the road to a healthier lifestyle, that become better moms and sisters and wives. And, you know, even if it's 5 pounds, it gives them that boost of confidence, like you've done something to help somebody. And I think it's an incredible business. I think anyone can do it. There's certainly no age gap, and there you have no holds on what you can do in this business. So that was what I need to do. You just have to present it. You have to ask, and you have to learn how to form people and use that 5-step invitation process. So Kelsey, where are you at? There she is. You are excellent about join my team post. So if you want to just kind of, I was telling everyone, or telling Kelsey before we got on here, there was 2 posts this week that Kelsey is excellent at kind of sharing her story, and she's consistent at posting, and she's consistent about sharing her why, and she's building rapidly. But she did this week with her husband, and she told everybody why she coaches and why she does what she does. And I think that attracts the right people to your market, because you're not talking about, oh my God, I just made $200 this week. And people don't want to hear that. They want to hear the feelings and emotion behind why you're doing what you're doing. And she's really, really great at that. So, and she is always asking people if they will join her team. So Kelsey, if you want to kind of just give some pointers on like how you craft those posts and how you come up with like when you share them.
Okay, I'm going to try and stop yawning because I'm so tired. And I see I'm making Jody yawn too. But I don't know. I think I honestly just got into like the inviting consistently. I would, invite to my team every once in a while. But I realized before I was making, we were talking about how we were making half the amount of Success Club points but more money this year. And I think it's because I'm just now inviting to my team, and I'm just now, bringing on these team members that are wanting to build the business too, and just seeing the, what could possibly happen and all the possibilities out there. And I just really, I don't know exactly how to say it, but I'm not trying to like toot my own horn or anything, but I try and share my story because I know there are other people out there that have similar stories too. And so I'm always really vulnerable with my post. And a lot of people, one of the main reasons I see why people want to be a coach is to stay home with their kids. And fortunately for me, I was able to do that before I started coaching. And the real reason why I want this to be successful and why I'm going to be successful is because one day, like the post that Jessica was referring to was about my husband, and he literally works 16 days on and he works 2 days off. He works on a golf course and spends maybe 2 hours with us every day. And during those 2 hours, he's exhausted. We're cooking dinner, and so it's never really family time. And actually, the post I made last night, a lady messaged me, and she was just like kind of talking to me about how she wants the same for her husband. And that gives me inspiration to craft other posts similar to that, because that's letting me know like what these people are wanting to hear. And when I'm sharing my journey and letting them know that I'm going through this and they don't have to be alone because I'm doing it with other people as well, it kind of inspires them, because honestly, they have no clue what the heck coaching is. I mean, you might think because you've been doing it for so long that they should automatically know what being a Beachbody coach is, but they don't. So you really have to take that opportunity to, even when you are crafting those posts, asking them to join your team, reach out to them if they're liking that post, because they're not going to have the guts to come and, just start a conversation and say, hey, I want to be a coach. What do I do? You need to be reaching out to those people too. And that's what I've really started doing recently. One of my big things that last week, I just went for it, and I had been debating about it, but I know sometimes when people are already in the fitness business and they're personal trainers or, fitness instructors, you kind of you think that they're looking at you kind of like, an underdog, or she doesn't really know what she's talking about. But when you really reach out to them and start talking to them about what you're doing, and versus what they're doing, and kind of get down to, do they really like being in a gym for 8 hours teaching classes? And, some people enjoy that and they like that. But when you really talk to them about it and find out why they are doing it, it kind of, like this one girl I started talking about, sorry, I ramble. But this one girl I started talking to, she was, she had no clue. And she actually told me that she looked at Beachbody coaches as, just people that were hiding behind a computer pretending that they knew about fitness. And when I sent her a few videos and let her know what we actually do, she was all, on board. So it's reaching out to people that, like Jessica said, you really would never think to reach out to, and making posts that let them feel like they are, on this journey with you, and that they can be on this journey with you as well. And they can do the same thing as you can. You're no one special. So I just think, I don't know, reaching out to people and just sharing your journey and, letting them know why you do this, and not just, financial aspect, but why you really like helping people. So I'm sorry. I think I ran.
Yeah, that's great. No, that is exactly, and you do so great at it. I mean, Kelsey's also good at sharing different parts of her life. She talks about health and fitness and Beachbody, but she also talks about her kids and, shares inspirational things. And then again, for you new coaches, Beachbody should only be 20% of what you're talking about. Like, people are going to connect to you, not Beachbody. So they want to know, like, what's your story? Why are you doing this? Why are you who you are? And once they start feeling like they're getting a piece of who you are and that they can trust you, people are just going to watch you for a while. So I think that's, where Jody said a lot of people get discouraged. Like, they're not just going to jump on your wagon immediately. They're going to watch, and they're going to sit back, and they're going to try to figure out, one, are you going to stick with it? Two, if you can reflect back, sometimes we have amnesia and we forget what it's like when we first signed up, right? And how we felt. And we didn't jump on immediately and think, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. And I totally want to join your challenge group. I know I sat and researched prices on challenge packs and compared individual to challenge packs. And is it a scam? Like, I sat up all night long doing my own research. So give them time to trust you and stay consistent. If they know every month you're hosting a challenge group and every month they can join your team, and you are posting your results and sharing what this opportunity is doing for you, sharing what, your challengers are doing and how they're losing weight, and just sharing your life. Like, how are you as a mom? How are you, are you sharing your personal development? You're really going to be impacting so many different lives. But I mean, the moral of all of this is that if you really want to be successful in the business, you've got to find duplication in your business. So whatever you're doing that's working, you're going to have to pass it on to your coaches. Hopefully we're helping streamline that process for you. But if you have ideas on how you can do it better, by all means, we are not offended if you said this training sucks and this is what I think we should do. Please Please, please, please. And we're all on the same team. So I'm going to let Jody close it out just in case she has anything else she wants to add. But thank you so much for being here with us, Jody.
Yeah, there were a few things I wanted to hit on. So since we have so many new coaches on this call, I just wanted to kind of give you guys a rundown on how the whole thing works. So every Thursday we do team call at 8:30. We try to keep them right around 30, 40 minutes because we know your family time, is precious. So we don't want to, interrupt that. But for some of you maybe thinking, what the heck is she even talking about, all this, money and building your team and whatever. This call, our topic was building your tribe, how to get coaches on board. But every Wednesday we talk about a different topic. So if there's anything that you're struggling with or, you just want us to talk about, post it in our group and we'll make that the topic of our call. Sometimes we have them planned out a little bit ahead of time, but sometimes we don't. So if there's anything you want to talk about or that's still confusing to you, let us know. I actually just had one of my new coaches ask me a question about volume. And then when I started looking into it, I'm like, well, I don't think I really even know the answer to that. So now I have some research to do, so that's probably a good topic for call. While Jessica was talking about finding your coaches, so I still haven't picked a team name for me yet. I've been thinking about it for almost 2 years. It's definitely going to be something to do with real and raw and something. But finding people's passion, Beachbody is about health and fitness and bettering yourself and bettering your family and financial freedom. And if you find whatever it is they're passionate about, even if it's crafts, there's a way for you to relate Beachbody to whatever it is they're passionate about. So for me, I still feel very awkward contacting people about the money side of it because obviously I was a teacher. It was never about money for me. So I don't really want to go into it, money side. So I try to find whatever it is that they're passionate about and then build on it from there. So do a little bit of research. We know Thrive is the new big thing right now. But the thing that drives me crazy about Thrive, my neighbor, actually, I spotted my neighbor is a Thriver because they have it posted all over their car, like Thrive level 1 or whatever. I don't even know what it is. Okay, that drives me crazy because clearly you're selling a product. Like, we don't sell products. We share a lifestyle that we know works and that we know provides in more ways than one for people's families. And that's what we do. We don't sell, we share. So for all of you that are just as disgusted with a stupid Thrive as I am, just know that it will not be here in probably a few years. It'll phase out. Beachbody, although it's becoming more popular, they've been around for what, Jessica, is this the 13th year?
Since 1998. Yeah, almost 20 years.
Yeah, so they're not going anywhere. And we all know since God created Earth that eating right and exercising is the only way to live a healthy lifestyle. So wrapping yourself with saran wrap or patching. So if there's anything that y'all want to talk about on team call, just let us know. And the last thing that I had written down that I wanted to elaborate on was sticking with it. Consistency is definitely key. My sister, who is my coach, I did not believe in the beginning. The only reason I eventually even gave into it is because I knew she was my sister and I knew she wasn't going to lie to me or something just to make a sell. So when people see that you're still at it a year from now or 2 years from now, then they're going to believe what you're doing. They're going to know it's not you're not trying to make a sell, you're not trying to make a buck, and they're going to know that you really genuinely care about their health and their, future. So consistency is definitely a big thing. And if for no one else, yourself, I would not be in the shape that I'm in today if it wasn't that I was a coach. I know people are looking at me as a coach, so it holds me, more accountable to my own goals. So don't be afraid to be selfish either. If you ain't happy with you, nobody else is going to be happy either. So I do see a lot of new faces on the call tonight, so I want to thank you guys for joining us. And yeah, if there's anything you want to talk about, anybody have any questions before we close out? Jessica, do you want to unmute everybody?
Wrap themselves. That was funny. No, actually, Jody, she only joined me because she needed to lose some few pounds before a bachelorette party, and I needed to hit Emerald. So I totally pulled big sister rank and was like, "You're gonna do this," and she did. And she tried to quit on me more times than not, and that's just what I told her is that you have to be here in a year. So. Stay consistent and start inviting. And for all you new coaches, seriously, the best thing that you can do is to learn how to invite people. Once I did that, my whole business changed. because it just becomes less intimidating. So I unmuted everybody. So if you want to say anything, if you have any questions about how to present the coaching opportunity call, how the structure of our team, and actually I'm going to mute everybody again because I'm less. If you have any, because Melanie Mitra, I've been trying to, ever since the beginning of the, I like it, it's like this resonating, like, call it a God thing, call it whatever, but it's like, you need to learn how to help people help more people. And I've listened to so many calls, and Melanie Mitra, something she does like clockwork is she knows every month how she's going to plan out her month, who she's inviting when. So 2 weeks out of the month, she's inviting challengers. 2 weeks out of the month, she's inviting coaches. So that's kind of the strategy behind this. The first 2 months, you should hit your Success Club goals, or at least halfway there by the 15th. So you're not running the rat race at the end of the month. The last 2 months, you should be focused on your challengers and building your team. So that's what we're doing. Does anyone want to talk? I mean, this is like super, like, you see how we look on these calls. It's like, if you want to say something, say something. If there's a question that we can answer, by all means, share that too. Anybody? No? Okay. Well, tomorrow kicks off day 1 of our challenge groups. I mean, really just invest in your challengers. Love on them. Make them feel like they matter. I mean, because that's what this is all about, right? Community and support. And I don't want y'all to think that it's like, oh, this is a fake thing. It's definitely not that. But you really just want to invest in your challengers, and you want to have a jam up challenge group. You want to get in that group at least once a day and tell them good job. Like their post. Share what's going on with you. Make it awesome. So when they get there, you get the results next Friday, like pick out those people that are participating every day, that are showing enthusiasm, that are commenting on other people's posts, and that are sending you results, and say, have you ever considered? So the worst thing they can say is, no, can you tell me more about it? They're not going to tell you you're crazy. They're not going to slam the door in your face. They obviously joined your challenge group for a reason, because they trust you. So that's a great opportunity to reach out to them. So if anyone has any more questions, feel free to drop them in our group. And I'm also going to post the 5-step invitation process, just again for the inviting to challenge groups and inviting to the coaching opportunity, as well as the forming. So love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next Thursday. Nicole Keene is going to present on making your vision your mindset, and it's going to be a really awesome call. So I hope to see everyone then. So bye.